Welcome back to another conversation that hits different today because we're diving into something raw and real that Justin Bieber just shared about how he treats Hailey Bieber, and honestly, it's got everyone talking. If you love getting the tea served hot and real, then you're exactly where you need to be, so make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're building something special here, and I want you to be part of this journey with me. Justin recently went live on Twitch and opened up about some heavy stuff regarding his marriage to Hailey and the way he sometimes acts toward her. He admitted straight up that he can be dismissive and insensitive and that he doesn't always read the room when it comes to her feelings. What struck me most was how honest he was about recognizing his own flaws and how he's working through them. He talked about being distracted and impatient and how those behaviors affect Hailey even when he doesn't mean for them to. The fact that he mentioned Hailey doesn't even want him sharing too much about their relationship, but he felt compelled to acknowledge his shortcomings anyway says something about where he's at mentally right now. He also got vulnerable about jealousy and comparing himself to others, which is something so many people struggle with, but rarely admit out loud. Justin confessed that he still gets into headspaces where he questions why other people's lives seem to be working out while his feels chaotic. That kind of transparency is refreshing, especially from someone who's been in the spotlight since he was a kid. The pressure and scrutiny that comes with fame can mess with anyone's head, and hearing him talk about those internal battles without sugarcoating it feels genuine. The conversation shifted to work-life balance, and Justin had an interesting perspective on it. He basically said there's no such thing as balancing work life and love life because it's all just one life, and it's either rooted in love or it's not. You can't turn love on and off depending on whether you're at work or at home. Either you're living with love as your foundation or you're not. That philosophy is deep when you really think about it because so many people compartmentalize their lives and end up feeling fractured and unfulfilled. Now, let me be real with you about why this conversation hit me so hard personally. I've been in a relationship that was both physically and mentally damaging, and hearing someone take accountability the way Justin did brought up a lot for me. When you're in a situation where someone hurts you over and over without ever acknowledging what they've done, it leaves this wound that doesn't quite heal properly. Even though I never want to hear from that person again, there's still a part of me that wishes they had owned their behavior because that acknowledgement can help you close that chapter more completely. It gives you validation that what you experienced was real and that it wasn't your fault. So when Justin openly admits that he can be dismissive and insensitive toward Hailey, I imagine that means something significant to her. It's one thing to know your partner has flaws, but it's another thing entirely to hear them verbalize those flaws and take responsibility for how those behaviors impact you. That kind of honesty can be a turning point in a relationship because it shows self-awareness and a willingness to do better. The question that keeps coming up for me, though, is whether this is completely authentic or if there's a strategic element to it. Both Justin and Hailey have been going through what looks like a rebrand lately. They're being more open and vulnerable and relatable in ways they haven't been before. Part of me wants to believe this is coming from a genuine place of growth and healing. Part of me wonders if there's pressure to repair public perception, especially with Justin's career not being where it once was. There are plenty of people who are skeptical about whether this openness is sincere or calculated, and I get why they feel that way. I do believe people are capable of change, though. I've been through enough in my own life to know that growth is possible when someone truly wants it and puts in the work. I'm not someone who thinks people should be written off forever because of past mistakes. That being said, I also can't ignore the history here. The way Justin treated his previous relationships, especially the pain he caused, has been well documented. That's something I can't just overlook because I've seen the impact it had, and it's hard to separate that from how I view him now. It's complicated because I don't know these people personally. I don't know what happens behind closed doors or what their day-to-day reality looks like. What I do know is that there are countless videos and moments captured over the years showing Justin treating Hailey in ways that made a lot of people uncomfortable. Ignoring her in public, walking ahead of her, seeming irritated or dismissive. These aren't things that can be explained away as misinterpretations because they're right there on camera for everyone to see. At the same time, there are also videos of Justin defending Hailey from paparazzi and showing affection toward her. Relationships are complex and nobody is perfect all the time. But when the negative moments consistently outweigh the positive ones, or when certain patterns keep showing up, it raises questions about the health of that dynamic. I've always thought their marriage seemed fragile, and there have been persistent rumors over the years that they've come close to splitting up multiple times. Before they renewed their vows, there was talk that they were on the verge of separation and that the vow renewal was part of an effort to save the marriage. Then Justin launched his new clothing line, and suddenly they seemed more united, at least publicly. It's hard to know what's real and what's performance when you're dealing with public figures who have teams managing their image. Maybe they really were struggling and worked through it. Maybe they're still struggling but trying to present a united front. Maybe they've genuinely turned a corner and things are better now. What I hope more than anything is that this is real for the sake of their son. If Justin is truly recognizing his behavior patterns and working to change them, then that's not just good for his marriage, but also for the example he'll set for his child. Kids learn how to treat others by watching their parents. If Justin can model what it looks like to acknowledge your mistakes and actively work on being a better partner, then that's an invaluable lesson for his son to grow up witnessing. The truth is, relationships take constant work and communication. You can't just coast and expect everything to be fine. My own marriage requires us to talk things through constantly. If my husband does something that hurts me or disrespects me, I have to say something, because keeping it inside only breeds resentment. I'm choosing to spend my life with him, which means I'm also choosing to show up fully as myself and demand to be seen and heard. That's not being difficult or demanding. That's being human and expecting basic respect in a partnership. Too many people, especially women, end up feeling invisible in their relationships. They do everything to keep the household running and take care of the kids and support their partner's dreams, but they never hear thank you, or I appreciate you, or I don't know how you do it all. That lack of acknowledgement is corrosive over time. It makes you feel like you don't matter and like your contributions are expected rather than valued. If you're in that situation right now, I want you to know it's okay to speak up about it. Sometimes people don't realize they're taking you for granted until you point it out. They get comfortable in routines and forget to express gratitude for all the things you do. Other times they're fully aware but just don't think it's necessary to verbalize appreciation. Either way, you deserve to be recognized for what you bring to the relationship. Don't shrink yourself or stay quiet just to keep the peace. Your voice matters and your feelings are valid. What Justin said about Hailey not wanting him to share too much about their relationship, but him doing it anyway to take accountability, is interesting. It shows he felt it was important enough to override her preference for privacy in that moment. Maybe that's growth. Maybe that's him realizing that acknowledging his behavior publicly holds him more accountable than just talking about it privately with her. Or maybe it's part of this larger effort to reshape how people see him. I'm choosing to take it at face value for now because the alternative is exhausting. Constantly questioning everyone's motives and assuming the worst in people is draining. I'd rather give someone the benefit of the doubt and be proven wrong than approach everything with cynicism. If Justin is being genuine, then this could be a turning point for him personally and potentially inspire other public figures to be more open about their struggles and growth. We need more vulnerability in celebrity culture. For too long, there's been this pressure to present a perfect image and never show cracks in the facade. But that's not reality, and it's damaging because it sets impossible standards for everyone else. When someone with a massive platform admits they struggle with jealousy or insecurity or treating their partner poorly, it normalizes those experiences for millions of people who feel the same way but think they're alone in it. This is something I've always admired about other artists who choose to be transparent about their mental health battles and personal challenges. When celebrities open up about eating disorders or chronic illness or relationship struggles, it creates space for their fans to feel less isolated in their own experiences. It sends a message that these things don't discriminate and that seeking help or doing the work to be better is not only okay, but necessary. If this shift toward openness is authentic, then I hope it continues not just with Justin but across the entertainment industry. People need to see that everyone struggles regardless of how successful or wealthy or famous they are. The more we talk about these things openly, the more we break down stigma and create communities where people feel safe being honest about what they're going through. So, whether you believe Justin's intentions are pure or you think this is all strategic, that's your call to make. I'm choosing hope over skepticism because I think that's what the world needs more of right now. I hope he's doing the work. I hope his marriage is healing. I hope he becomes the partner Hailey deserves and the father his son needs. And I hope this inspires others in similar situations to either take accountability for their own behavior or find the courage to speak up about how they're being treated. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that if you've been feeling unseen or undervalued in any relationship in your life, this is your sign to say something. Don't wait for the other person to magically figure it out. Use your voice and advocate for yourself, because you deserve to be treated with respect and appreciation. Life's too short to spend it feeling small or invisible in spaces where you should feel celebrated. Thank you so much for being here and for being part of this community we're building together. Your presence means everything, and I can't wait to connect with you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because we've got so much more to talk about, and I want you here for all of it.